Desde el hondo criso de la patria se levanta el clamor popular, ya se anuncia la nueva alborada, todo Chile comienza a cantar, recordando el soldado valiente, cuyo ejemplo se hiciera inmortal. Enfrentemos primero la muerte, traicionar a la patria más. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Campesinos, soldados y obreros, la mujer de la patria también, estudiantes, empleados, mineros, cumpliremos con nuestro deber, sembraremos la tierra de gloria, socialista será el porvenir, todos juntos haremos la historia, a cumplir, a cumplir, a cumplir. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer. Venceremos, venceremos, mil cadenas habrá que romper. Venceremos, venceremos, al fascismo sabremos vencer.
So hello, gonna do this again. We actually are close to a new build. I got a partial fix in for all those issues in the background of the save with the clouders breaking up and not appearing on the the portraits on the lower right properly. And this time I think I'm going to put a little bit of music in the background because heck, and just for my benefit, I actually 5 people tuned in last night. That was shocking to see so many people. But you know what we're going to do here is we're going to go to dronefx.com. I really like this, just generative music. I'm just going to make a composition that we background. Yeah, it's all. I'm not really making. It's more just procedurally generated, not a generative AI. It's just essentially Brian Eno described it as sort of like composing a forest by trees rather than the entire. If you want to see the best talk I ever saw him give on generative music was via the Long Now Foundation when they had Will Wright on to discuss Spore, and we all know how great Spore was, right? Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, yeah. And here's the thing: Will he tried, and I blame EA. They were just, I mean, year after year, they were like, we're going to put more money into creating Madden 2000 and whatever, because we didn't put enough money into Madden 2003. From what I understand, I mean, literally, it was going to start, I mean, Spore, if you don't remember, it's going to start with literally this sort of a Tetris game where you literally started stacking up the fundamental DNA of the creature that you were exposed to create. But you create. And now, if anybody is tuned into this, I would appreciate it if they could let me know. Am I being loud with the music? Can you hear me? I mean, those who've been able to remain awake, I can see. Let me see on. I have no view right. The OBS, can I just say, is just not that role. Chats and concurrent. But anyway, we're just going to start this. Actually, I'm just going to bring it up. Sad one. All right. Now, let's see. Yeah, we're going to. Oh boy. That's a rather harsh. Wrong window. I want to keep my YouTube website. If anybody does tune in, chat, and I'm going to turn this down on my end because it's a little bit loud. Yeah, it's a bit discordant. Not a very good demonstration of what it could do over time. Oh yeah, and I did want to check my audio levels to make sure. Actually, I'm going to turn that down a bit. Either that or I could talk closer into the microphone. I actually have a better mic over here. See? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, if anybody was listening there, that may have deafened you. Hopefully not. But that's a better microphone. Put the background a little bit louder. Sorry if anybody was watching and you had to endure that blast of audio. But anyway, so what I want to do here is I want to take a look at this one sector. 950 or 850 has some residual crap in it. Looking at you, 950, I suspect you. Man, I kind of wish I had bought some potato chips. You're saying I'm kind of hungry. Okay, I don't see what I'm looking for here. So I'm figuring it's 850. Or maybe everybody who tuned in last night was like, actually, because I announced it on the Discord openly. I was like, hey, I could go onto Reddit and get our little buddy to tune in. Just announce, hey. Is that it? No. Okay. The screenshot I see excuse me, is where they encounter this. I know this house. That is the farmhouse that's built on top of the old trading post structure or foundation. So if that exists within the chunk, it's got to be here. But I guess it doesn't, so I should go into the main exterior. It still might be just a residual checked. I confess I only put about 4 hours in today, it being Saturday. I do pride myself on working 7 days a week, but I don't know. I could talk about movies I don't like. Heaven knows I haven't talked about that enough. God bless, we haven't talked about that enough. Let's see. If that object is here, it would be inside of that sector. And in order to identify that sector, it would have to be somewhere along the road. But because of the way Unity just handles stuff, we can't zoom in really close. I think the solution is just to go into test mode and try and find where that ball is. Then again, I also noticed that nobody tunes in until about an hour. Go live for about an hour, and then all of a sudden, people are just interested in what you have to say. Blorp. Oh, my goodness. Let's see here. Test mode. And just for the sake of like I'm going to turn off the vegetation studio because it makes it run just a little bit quicker. If we turn that off, it'll make it easier to find that, floating sphere as well. Average view duration. Somebody watched for 30 seconds. That's pretty astounding. Yeah, what movies do I not like this month? I'm not even bothering with Animal Farm. There are some movies that are so bad, like, the Ice Cube War of the Worlds film, that I'm just content to sit there and, just let that one pass me by. Yeah, I don't. Everybody's been wondering what they were thinking. But again, from what I understand, it was not originally from that Angel Pictures or whatever it is. I forget, it's like the Daily Wire or whatever, their film enterprise. Okay. Okay, to aid our assist, I'm just going to switch the hour. Make it a little bit later in the day. Oh yeah, I forget, because the way it's set up now, I gotta set this to 1. Actually, Z. And then 1. If the sphere is here, ah, there it is. The sphere. Okay, the residual sphere. Let's see where this guy is. Yeah, there we see him. Kitty cat, my kitty cat, chicken. My kitty cat craves milk. My kitty cat craves tuna. Okay, it's in sector 950 near the very edge. Okay. I see something. I hate these. A good thing that I know some. And what sector is this? This is 960. I gotta fix. We're having these little purple or magenta. So let me see. I'm gonna have to make a note. Was ist das? Piece of papier. Oh, yeah. This is a letter to somebody who... Just long story short. And we will look at 960 for the magenta. We'll have to go to 950 for the sphere. Get rid of those two issues. Let's see, 950. All right, so there is a sphere somewhere in here. A sphere in here. Really? Is that a spawn on play object? You can't tell me because that's a sphere right there, right? Oh, yeah. It might have a different tag, I forget. But actually, no. I'm just going to run it again and see exactly what that sucker's called. But no, actually, in the meantime, we need to go to 960 and get rid of the magenta. Alright, go up to Le House. There it is, right there. I do not know how these cubes got, changed. It's sort of annoying. But, there we are. Turn off the mesh renderer. Apply that override. So, yeah. I'm just going to play some. Well, no. Okay. I go into make a remain scene. Say. And I want to run this guy again and find out exactly what that sphere is. I'm going to dash to the other room and grab a mouthful of sandwich. I will be right back. Just something over here. Yeah, whatever. Okay, this is something I could discuss because nobody really cares. I'm just appalled at what I see. The Mount Everest. People too much money, not enough climbing experience, or just shame to realize that they are not qualified to climb the mountain and all the trouble they cause. And now I realize my beverage is empty. I will return in just one moment. All right. We are back with a little kitty cat tail, as you can see, passing by. She always wants to come by and make sure that she isn't missing out on anything. She has serious FOMO. So let's just see or turn this off again. Go back to our spot where we saw that guy before. Right here. So what are you called? Ball heavy. All right. I think I know what that is. That is from a long time ago. Okay. Ball heavy. Really? Really? Within that chunk, there is no ball. That is so odd. We can't have like this weird sphere floating in the middle of, the countryside, the backshore of the game world. So I got to figure out what the hell's going on here. One of these very minor, just annoying things that crops up. You know what I'm saying? Wish I had some potato chips or some peanuts or something carby and proteiny. You know what I'm saying? Now wasabi peas are just too expensive, and I'm not so much into like the Asian snack scene. I'm just not. I'm condemned to eating sandwiches. Oh me. Let's see here. Is there a spawner that's making it? I mean, I don't remember putting any spawner in that would like create an annoying sphere in the middle of a place we did not want it. Yeah, 950. It's in the chunk. It's not in the oven output. It's in the main. Okay, 950. God, I hate pernicious stuff like that. First off, we want to turn our systems back on. Do 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 do. Vegetation Studio is a very expensive sort of thing. It takes a second or two to turn on. So really, we want to go to 950 chunk exterior. Import. Let's see what we got here. Wrong one. Dang. 950. There you go, buddy. Bye-bye. That is a remnant from a very long time ago. It's nice to see it go. All right, now there's one last thing I really wanted to take a look at. The geo markers are floating. I want to go into Photoshop, and the geo marker I know, because it's been like about 2 years ago that I placed these. I know the place there is definitely a geo marker, 780 or 790. Yeah. Yeah, I do not see it here, so it's probably a 790. Yeah, right around here. Ah, there you are, baby. These guys are called USGS. Duh. Okay, USGS. Now I got to figure out where all those are again and make sure they are properly placed. But unfortunately, let me see. There, let me say US. That is set to static. Good. Okay. Fortunately, the only way I know how to do this is to really import all of the exterior sectors. Best way to do that is unfortunately another time-consuming process. Let's see here. Excuse me. All right. No, what am I even looking at here? Oh, save the prefab. No, I don't want to save this prefab. What I want to do is I want to save the scene. First off, sorry. I'm going to save this as a placeholder. We're going to call this the USGS. USGS. Because now what we have to do is just get rid of the interiors because we're only interested in bringing in the exterior ones. And then again, as it has been literally years since I placed these, I don't know where among all these sectors the USGS markers still are. So I'm going to import all of these sectors. Now, that unfortunately is a rather hefty thing. Pardon my just endless belching. But yeah, we're going to have to import all sectors. And we do not want to make a backup. And unfortunately, this kicks us in the seat of the pants and puts us in a place where we're just like sitting and waiting. Oh, hold on. Maybe it's doing it faster than it used to. Now that we've, made the textures a heck of a lot smaller than they used to be. Oh, no. No, I'm not saying it's going to repaint the scene. Tell you what, Grandpa Eric's going to step away for a minute while this is doing this, and hopefully, maybe by the time I get back, it's done. I seriously doubt it will be because it makes no sense that it would literally, because sometimes it takes as long as like 20, 30 minutes. Oh, well, look at that. Well, look at there. All right. So what we want to do now is we want to search for USGS. USGS. There we go. We have 6 USGS markers. And we got to figure out exactly where these suckers are now. And because one of our players, our very faithful bug reporter, has been telling me that these guys are just floating around in midair. And I hate that. I just really hate that. Yeah, that is not it. So that one looks good. USGS. That's 03. Yeah, that one looks good too. It's like embedded right in a rock surface. Oh, there we go. Our first floater. We got a floater. Can I say that was the only real funny line from Starsky and Hutch remake with Owen Wilson on that. Okay. Oh yeah, I gotta activate the Vegetation Studio Pro in order for it to. Got to go into the manager. And you got to go into the terrains and clear out all the terrains and bring in the. You can see where everything. Add all the unit terrains. Poof! There they are again. Okay, USGS number 4. I think we were at. Let's just see. USGS was 4. All right, this is the first. Like I said, definitely the first floater that. Looks as it has like just an old collider on it. Thing is, these are always mounted on rocks. For those of you who have never touched grass, You know what I do? I think it was just like these are all parts of before we had 3D rendering software. This is literally how the United States was able to create a 3D map of our territory. We had we have how many USGS markers are placed in the? I mean, it's quite an amazing feat. It's one of the back when or when our country wasn't constantly just pounding itself in the face with a hammer. Um, anyway, how many USGS markers are placed in the continental USA? Hundreds of thousands. Because well over 1 million. Because what they did, every time one of these things was placed, they made a record of, where they were, basically X, Y, and Z, latitude, longitude, and elevation. And as a result of this, they were able to, again, create a 3D map of the United States no, not decades and decades before. I mean, we had 3D software or anything to like. Again, it's kind of amazing the things that our country was able to do back before we were, doing stupid things every 4 years. I don't know, man. I mean, honest to goodness, I'm just going to say this straight out. I mean, anybody. Number one, Donald Trump granting himself literally. It's fundamentally disgusting. But number two, the one thing, I mean, it's disgusting, but also the one thing that gives me a little bit of just schadenfreude out of all of this is that understand, he said, oh, yeah, this is going to be an weaponization or whatever, and it's going to go toward the January 6th rioters and reparations for all the injustices they had to go through. No, Donald Trump and his family are going to steal every bit of that, every last cent. Do you think? No, no. And so, I mean, like I said, the only real kind of just, I don't know, like I said, schadenfreude I can get out of is, heck, I mean, again, the people who supported this guy are screwed again. Okay, it looks like there was something here because that looks like it was really just free of grass. I think it was. Let me just see. Maybe sometime along the way, the rock that was there was lost. But I know I have some very good, high quality angry mesh. Oh, before I even do that, actually, and free, I need to make sure that they're, Oh, no, actually, I don't want to go through the trouble of, upgrading these things. Even though, let me just see. It just means I have to recolor all the rocks, but I think Angry Mesh does need an upgrade. Let me see. Oh yeah, and I'm glad that I watched a few episodes of The Boys. Um, oh look, all right, great, there we are. See, realistic. I got to get those new deer in, man. That's on the list of stuff that I got to do. It's just PBR racks, nature pack. Actually, no, these are the ones that I am using, right? Angry Mesh, yeah, and I don't think I need to import them again. So really, um, by the way, these were among the first professional quality assets I purchased back in the day when I started making this game. And I was like, spending $50 on a pack of just rocks, you know. But let me tell you, these were fantastic. They are very, very good rocks. They're great rocks. Great rocks. Now, so I think we're gonna go with the big one. We want one of the really big ones. And I mean, if you are into nature hiking, and I recommend you do get into it. I mean, again, I've recently come to the realization that a lot of young men in this country have nothing to do, so they sit at home anyway. But seriously, you'll see these things everywhere. Once you've seen them, I mean, you can't unsee them. They are literally everywhere, and it's kind of cool. It's just another thing, a reminder of what we were able to do back in the day before our country was just literally like, oh, let's just give up any sense of legitimacy. Let's just do something really dumb. Oh God. Oh God. I mean, really. The first hints of the famine are coming, except, I mean, and we'll see. From what I understand, the guy that I prefer to call Shitler, had this emergency come back to the White House. Everybody back. Come on back. We got this whole thing. Essentially, the Gulf states are letting him know. Listen, stop being so stupid, guy. Just stop being so stupid. Uh, I don't know. I don't know how they're able to. Maybe they're able to talk to BB and just like tell them, don't release the Epstein files. We know, we know. Okay, we know you really wanted to get take out Iran, but sorry, BB, it just ain't the time. Yes, the United States has elected its most stupid president in its history, and this will maybe your last chance to ever, convince them to do something this goddamn stupid, is invade Iran. But you know what? It didn't work out, BB, and if we're still comfortable with signing some sort of peace deal and ignoring your genocide in Gaza, as long as you just allow Trump to just stop. Because again, I mean, if you're not aware of this, and I will say this again and again, is the reason that we invaded Iran, and the reason we're going through all of this, and the world is tossed into evil, is because Donald J. Trump raped a young lady. We don't know how many young ladies he raped, but quite a few, I imagine. Over at Epstein's place, and well, he just doesn't want to admit to that. Just doesn't want. I mean, well, of course, who does want to admit to that? Who would want to admit to that? But BB has the goods on him, and as a result, that's why he get. I mean, every president forever. Hey, come on, come on, come on, invade Iran. It's a great idea. Everybody's doing it. And, I know, when, I mean, Trump got in the second time. Sorry. USGS 4. Got to go back to our 4. Like, my goodness, this is the dumbest guy ever. He does everything. And considering, oh my goodness, the best friend of Jeffrey Epstein for all those years. This is the limelight. This is just a prime. I mean, we got so much dirt on him. Because if you don't know, Jeffrey Epstein was, basically a influence agent with the Mossad. What the hell is going on here? Okay, the UI is just getting in the way. That's what the issue is. Okay, this is nowhere near the USGS marker we just placed, but oh, hey, there we go. And I mean, it's. I will say, I mean, I got to be honest. I mean, anybody who saw the Clinton testimony on the whole Epstein thing knows that, Bill Clinton and, I mean, Hillary Clinton was in on it. I mean, it's amazing to see Hillary Clinton being so just gracious toward Tom Trump as of late. Because, well, I think what happened is they realized, we're still in the same club. We're still in that thing. And it's just so revolting. It's just so revolting. How the mighty have fallen. Okay, I don't know why we lost the moss texture, but for now that is fine. So we're going to go to USGS. No, actually we need to add this rock to the sector that is in, and probably we're going to have to replace it as well, because we want to stick it right there. Right there. Yeah, we're going to have to drag it all the way back, position it again, and that is fine. We got to do what we got to do. Wow, look at that. Look at that transform gizmo all the way, just wackadoodle. Okay, so USGS4, where are you again? You're up there, so I go grab my rock, bring you up there again. And bring it. Yeah. Man, I really hate how these things are constructed because they are never have their pivot where they're supposed to be. It's just so annoying. Okay. Now, where's our USGS4 again? All the way over there. Let's just stick you over here. Let's just stick you over here. That's good enough for now. Yeah, and I really don't like Bill Clinton all that much as far as policy went. He was the guy who was like, oh, yeah, we could be just like the Republicans and Southern Democrat law. Just sad situation as a country. But what you gonna do, eh? I mean, like I said last night, we have become the Soviet Union, essentially. We've become a somnolent country that is incapable of just living up to any ideals that we were supposedly based on. Oh, look there. Just get that rock right, scooch it right over, and I think we will be almost good. Bring it up a little bit. USGS2. All right, yeah, gotta bring that over here. Oh, yeah, I was talking about the boy. Sorry about that. I get off on tangents. I do. When I discovered there was an Israeli soldier, literally an IDF soldier, active or whatever, I forget. But I was like, nope, nope, nope. Not into that anymore. And everybody, again, who is like so disappointed with how the boys ended this year, or this time around, I'm just like, what gets me is that this is something I've seen so many times in my life, is somebody who just really... I'm sorry, I'm not one to get... I didn't get into Breaking Bad near the end. I tried, Game of Thrones. I tried, The Sopranos, and every one of these series that people are always like, "Oh yeah, Eric, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it." Oh my goodness, they always end so badly that every fan of the series is like, "Oh God, why did I waste all this time?" Especially Game of Thrones. And I'm just I don't know. I found apparently Gen Y or Gen Y. They finally, caught up with where I've been. The generation. I'm very sorry, but maybe it's because I have asexual tendencies or whatever, but I just find absolutely no interest in sex scenes or whatever. And when I watched Game of Thrones, there was just so much superfluous boob and screwing, and I guess some people that really piques their interest, but to me, I was like, I don't want to see other people doing that. I find that about as exciting as somebody taking a sledgehammer and hitting me in the crotch so hard that it not only wrecks my genitals, but also breaks my pelvis. That is how, annoying I find those. It doesn't advance the plot. It doesn't tell a story. I mean, you could just fade to whatever when they get started with that, and we have gotten the point. The story is established by then. Nothing is really advanced by continuing to show these actors faking doing this. And anyway. But my goodness, it gets me excited. Well, hey, I'm very sorry for you. Is all I can say. Bless your heart, as we used to say down south. Now, I think we've gotten to USGS 2 and 3. So, USGS. We got to 4. USGS. We're going to take a look at 5. That's already embedded nicely in a rock in the middle of the swamp. Beautiful. And this one, what the hell is it embedded in? No. Okay, so all USGS markers have been now taken care of. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so I think we are ready to build. The next thing I want to do with the map page is I want to make it so that you can zoom pan on the map page. And I also, actually, well, no, that can wait. Right now, the cat switching is like a fatal error, fatal bug, so I want to get that done ASAP. So let's just say overrides. Apply all. So we are going back into the main scene. That was a little bit easier than I thought it would be. Yes, comparatively, that was easy. So go to piece. Make sure it's set to non-test and that the appropriate spawner is on. Yeah, why not? I may want to come back to this. Yeah, that was very quick in importing all sectors. It used to take a hell of a lot longer. I guess it's, another just benefit of us going through and fixing all those textures. Oh, one last fix though. Somebody pointed out that there was no sign outside of the school pointing out that that was the school. We're gonna have to go back to that scene really quick and just fix that sector. It's relatively easy, I think. We'll be able to do that. But in the interim, to all of my zero viewers, I am heading away for just a moment. I will be right back. All right, we're open again. We want to go over to a place where I know I have a good sign that I could just duplicate and use for our purposes, and that is in front of the veterinarians. Strange how the Highland has like a veterinarian, but it does not have a human doctor, but priorities. All right. Vet sign. All right. I can just alter this into what we want for the school. And I bet that's still 6-7 though. I keep messing that up. Open. And now we want to put that sign in again. Bring it into position and then alter it to our needs. I'm going to put in some music in the background. Give me one moment. Boy, I can't actually. Why not? Yeah, I will. If only. Let's see, Bandcamp. Always buy your music, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just see something if I could do this. There we go. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller, a little bit too intimidating for such a small institution. Oh man, those are very bad pivots, but we can fix it. Right? All right, great. Another gripping, sequence of game development. 5 game development. So exciting. Okay, now we want to hey, baby girl. All right, there we go. Yeah, where is that image? There it is. Photoshop get this fixed really quick? Oh, I'm not doing canvas size, I'm doing image size. Kitty cat's hanging around here to see if there's dinner time soon. Dinner time is soon, little buddies, but it's another 40 minutes away, buddy. Might take a little while longer. Let's see. Oh, it looks like we had somebody tune in for about 20 seconds again. Hey, that's cool. Don't blame them for tuning out. Let's see. Let's see. Peace Island, peace. And we wanted a good little. I mean, jeez, I hate to do this, but I really should. I walk by it just about every week, and I should know what kind of signs they have out front. Yeah, here we go. No! They were going to close the school? What is this? Is this today? Hold on. Okay, show you. No, I don't want notifications. Just when was this written? Doesn't have a date. Oh, March. March. This is. Yeah. I don't think they're gonna. They can't close the school. March, April, May, June. There are 2 kids that were recently born on the island. That's not good. That breaks my heart. That is heartbreaking right there. But okay. But at least we can see here. Open imaging tab. Welcome to Cliff Island School. Actually, might be able to just, clean that up. Or, at least trace it. And the thing is, they say, oh, the only reason I pay taxes is because the school we have, and that's because they want to keep people living out there. And if they close down that school, basically the only remaining families are going to leave. And then it's going to become an Airbnb crap hole. And that's just so sad. That's just awful. It's a little bit too fuzzy for our purposes, but still copy them. But I mean, literally, they had 2. I mean, what are they going to do? There are 2 families. There's a family out there. There are 2 families that have children, school-age children. Man, it sucks. This country is just going down the toilet. But it's capitalism. That's the way things are supposed to work. There was this really great documentary I saw about the villages in Florida. And it's like the people that are moving into that mega huge, retirement community down there. They're like literally paving over historic stuff to build more of these like stupid cookie cutter crappy just cracker box houses. And they interview the residents there, and they're like, "Hey, how do you feel about them like blocking off this like almost 2 century old African American cemetery?" Well, that's capitalism, and that's the way things work. So I guess there's again, there is something fundamentally wrong with this country. I mean, I hate to say it, but you boomers, you got to get when the boomers when the boomers when God, hopefully when more sane individuals from J and X and such can just somehow get into Congress. I don't know, because yeah, they screwed things up. But they were intentionally disenfranchised, just like my generation was. The really sad thing is that one of the few Congress people of my generation in Congress is Ted effing Cruz, and the few others from my generation that are in there, they're because they basically learned to just mimic the same BS that all the boomers, in Congress, the same garbage. And Cory Booker and all these idiots. Israel has a right to defend itself. Israel has a right to defend itself. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, and hopefully, apparently with the new, among the younger kids, Israel's finally getting the, disrespect that it absolutely deserves. And the one thing, again, that really, really scares me is that I'm really afraid, and I'm seeing evidence of it already playing out, that Americans can't seem to distinguish between Jewish people and Israelis, or Zionists. And that's just going to lead to them promoting anti-Semitism, which plays right into Israel's hands, and it sucks. Is there any future? I mean, really? I think, there is a phenomenon. If you don't know it, if you're younger and you're, than I, and odds are you are. Sorry. How the hell? I forget how I did a negative. No, Alt? No, no, I can't. I just can't. Okay, so, we'll do it the old-fashioned way. That when somebody gets older, the more close they get to, die in age, the more at peace they become with just like getting the hell out of here. And let me tell you, I could say that somebody on the other side, of 50, that definitely is true. I had a hell of a lot of panicking about, my midlife crisis when I turned 40. But the older I get, I'm like, hey, I'm not dead yet, and yeah, you just become more at peace with the time you got left, and you try to use it. Stop fretting, And I think part of that is really, you just realize, oh, this world is really effing screwed. And why I want to get out of here, because things have just gotten progressively worse. In my lifetime, they got better for a while. But I would say about 1980 is when things started to just really slide down again. The death of Johnson's Great Society, the arrival of Reaganomics and all that bullshit. Oh, God, no. No. It's just getting worse. I mean, I thought in Great Britain, I don't mean to point fingers, because again, I live in the country that elected a serial rapist to the presidency twice. But we were really hoping someone would come out of Keir Starmer. But he is just doing the same crap as the other one. I mean, And even after Brexit, you still got the people, the Tony Robinsons and the Keir Starmers going, we need to click out all the foreigners. But, thankfully, again, the one thing that was sort of good about this idiot's idea of going to war is that really it's derailed most of the European resurgence of fascism. It's really derailed that, because even the fascists have had to go, I think we said we kind of liked Donald Trump. We didn't say we liked him. And it's coming. Let's see. Yeah, it was welcome too. And we're going to be hosting like the most pathetic World Cup in, history. Not that I'm a big, I seriously, as much as I don't care about American sports, I could care even less about the footy, the soccer, and all that. I mean, I have to, I look at you guys over there in Europe, and honest to God, your team wins. Well, no, it's usually in South America where they, wreck half of the capital city when their team wins, a national championship or something like that. But I've tried. Scotty, bless his heart, my friend, he took me to a baseball game and he took me to a hockey match. Both of them painfully boring. But I will give points to hockey because it was over quick. Baseball was just basically moving around very slowly according to very just obtuse rules. Soccer, when you have a 3.5 hour game that can... Hold on. Okay. We're literally going to have like the old joke goes, you could have a 3-hour game and it ends with 0-0. And all the way through, the stands are going wild and people are going crazy. Oh my gosh, yay. Singing, what was it? Sweet Caroline, da da da. Ah, goodness, I just don't understand the appeal of it. But it takes all kinds. Let's see, look to Peace Island School. Schule. None. Okay, and we make these guys centered. Looks fantastic. Just got to get rid of the residual crap in the background. I mean, there are already some people out on Cliff Island, and it's like, basically most of Cliff Island is basically owned by people from out of state, and they come back occasionally. And I don't know, there was just one family there, and I thought, I just really dread the idea that I'm gonna, one of these days, if I should happen to... No, they're just gonna, for the entire season, shut down all ferry traffic to that island and such. That's been a community for literally hundreds of years. What you gonna do? Actually, no. I just realized we want to... Well, no, a little bit of wear and tear on that sign, okay. Let's see. Worn white painted wood texture. All right, there we go. Free texture, excellent. That's precisely the kind of textures we like. Free. Perfect. Excellent. know it's not perfect yet because I am such a stickler for details. What I'm going to do, get rid of that. We're going to merge these. And then we have to make it so that they darken. That way... Hold on. Hold on. Which one do we do? I want it so that we still see a little bit of the cracks through that painted texture, you know what I'm saying? Ah, that's what we want. Linear burn. Excellent. That's what we want. I'm going to call this school sign. Oops. Okay. Let's see, chunk object textures. Go up to the top, refresh that, and it's fine. Okay. Hold on. We did have a sign, apparently, back in the day. That's unusual. Let's just take a look at what this is. Maybe it looks better than what we had. 1891, actually. No, we're going to use the one we just got. Now, how come my school sign is not in here? There's, oh, chunk object textures, that's why. Oh, no. Because I didn't press the final bell. There we go. Let's see, chunk object texture, chunk object text. Refresh. Okay, it's still not allowing me to save that. Or bring that in. So what we're going to do is we're going to save that to our desktop and just plop it in that way. Yeah, school sign. Okay. So our stuff. Over to signs, right? Yep. And then we bring our desktop, date modified. There we go. You can't say you're not bringing it in now. Sometimes you gotta fight these things. It's like school sign. Come on. There we are. Okay. And make the smoothness down to 0 because we don't want any smoothness on that. Excellent. Okay. All right, we're good. Good. All right. Okay. Now we're good to build. All right. Now I believe we are good to go. Hey, little girl, I know it's almost dinner time. Sorry, my kitty's bothering. No, not bothering me. Just hanging around, going, hey, just into the kitchen anytime soon, there, buddy. Trust me, I will be. Boy, this is taking a sweet time. All right, great. Let's see, game manager. Turn that off test mode. Wondering why there's a sector terrain portal down here. Just odd. Let me see. Okay, these terrain portals are in there. And there's, for some reason, there's one in here. I'm gonna have to go through, just see. Wow, this is somewhat troubling. Eleven 6. Okay, so this one was 1110. 1110E. 1110, 1111, and 1110. Yeah, I guess it got accidentally duplicated. Let me just make sure. Oh, nope. That's... Just trouble, because when I put it up here, it's like location changes. Let's see. I think this is 1110. Let me just see. I think 1110 is just so far out that it really doesn't matter to us. Yeah, 1110 is like out here. So really, that's extraneous to us. We're good to go. So again, we need to go to Systems, Objects, make sure our Vegetation Studio is a game manager or is not off. So File, Build settings. Make sure. All right. Let's. Oh, we want to clear out our. Okay, now we're good to go. Build. There's still a version there. Gonna have to go in and clear it out again. I love doing that. Just again and again and again. Ah, man. All right, we're good to go. So we are good to go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to stop streaming. We'll talk next time I do this. See ya.